Alrighty, here we are. We're here for our Sunday night paint stream. We're doing our Sunday night paint stream right now. And let's see how this goes. We're gonna go live. Let's do this. No shadows on my paint, which is great. I love not having shadows on my paint. And here we go. Let's see. We're coming around. It's gonna come up like that as far as the eye goes. All right, so we've got some good details going on. We still got a lot of work to do on this painting to get things right, but so far pretty decent. Can always find some room for improvement, but so far pretty decent. Oh my goodness, my kitten is right next to my foot. This little guy wants some attention right now. Just wants some attention right now. I gotta give him some attention because there's. I just woke up from his nap. I wonder if he could fall asleep with my hand. I don't think so. How long can I hold him for before he gets? Why is he putting his paw on me? When cat's like, oh, there you go. It's like he's like pushing away from me. What's up, little buddy? Anyone ever wonder why kittens smell so sweet? I wonder that. Kittens have like this natural, just like lovable smell. Like obviously if they're like stray cats and they've been out in the streets for a lot of time, then they can be stinky, but like if you ever find a kitten in somebody's home, they pretty much smell like I don't know, they smell nice. Sometimes they smell like candy, sometimes they smell like cinnamon. What's up, bud? What do you smell like? What do you smell like, pal? What do you think you smell like, buddy? I just love it. I love the kitten phase when you can fit them all into one palm. So this kitten is up for adoption. We're taking care of this kitten right now through the. So if you're in Los Angeles and you're looking for a kitten, you can possibly adopt this one. You can always send me a message if you're in the Los Angeles area and you want to adopt a kitten. There you go. So look at this little baby. Yes. I'll put him down when he gets bored of me. Because when he gets bored of me, that's a good sign that I can kind of like paint without him trying to crawl up my leg. Ideally, I could just keep him in a room. What? What, little buddy? His little tail. And a little tail. Little tail wag right there. Got to keep him entertained at least for a few more minutes. All right, you ready to go? Is that a little squeak? All right, time to go, right? So you're gonna go do your own thing now? Go hang out with Fern? Go hang out with Fern. She's nice. Oh boy. All right. Okay, so back to painting. So another thing that comes in handy, I use this huge case of gloves. You get 100 gloves, but I buy them in packs of cases of 1,000. So there's 10 packs of these gloves at a time, and each of these lasts me. I probably use about 3 gloves per painting session. So let's say, one of them 1,000 gloves divided by time divided by half is about 500 uses. So, you know, they last me about a good like 4 to 6 months. 1,000 gloves. Very good, handy thing. But we're going to continue on with this painting. I can already see a couple of issues with it. And then we'll start another painting. We're gonna work on probably more than one painting tonight, because this painting's still wet, and if I try to do too much on a wet painting, it's just not gonna go well. But I got a bunch of references this morning together that, you know, where I thought to myself, okay, what like one thing that you can get stuck on is what to paint, right? That's like that's a very popular question on YouTube. I know through like analytics and everything. It's like, what should I paint? Ideas for painting. And one of the best exercises, if you're looking for ideas to painting, isn't just to paint, isn't to get the idea, but to do this one exercise. It's called writing down 10 ideas per day. And it's this exercise I learned from a book called Choose Yourself by James Altucher. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. And in that book, thanks, Dave, by James Altucher. And in that book, he talks about this profound and powerful exercise that's just called becoming an idea machine. And all you do is you write down 10 ideas per day. That's the exercise. And it helps you to build this muscle build your idea muscle, so that you never run out of ideas, so that you always have you are ever in a state flowing with ideas, and you're never in need of them. You never really need ideas, because you always got them. Always gonna have them. All right, so I'm looking for some good. I'm trying to clean off my brushes, some of the brushes that I'm not gonna, that are kind of like worn out, and I'm moving them to a different location. Let's see, this brush is done. I'm gonna retire this brush. Here you go. Let's go back to one of my favorite brushes. This is a Princeton Catalyst brush. It has the black tip. That's how you know that it's the Princeton Catalyst. And let's just see how we go, some adjustments that we could possibly make in this here. So right now the eyes feel a little bit off. We're gonna go a little bit deeper with our shadow. Go a little bit deeper with some of our shadow, and the majority of the shadow is gonna be on this side. And let's see, we're gonna come into here. And then we're going to come straight onto the nose, and we're going to come onto here. Just want to have deeper shadows as we go down like this. And this eye is going to come down a little bit more like that. And it's just making a series of adjustments. That's it. Let's get that. And then we're going to have some shadow right under the nose, some shadow in the nose, some shadow underneath the mustache here. Let's go like this. So this chin coming around the mouth. And this is going to have some shadow coming around the mouth as well. Cat's like, oh, you saw a cat? Where? Where'd you see a cat? I didn't see a cat. There's so many out here. I don't know. They're just around, man. Cats are just everywhere these days here. They are just everywhere. Just absolute insanity. They are everywhere. Now let's start to bring in some whites again. Let's try to find some highlight. Some highlight here. And let's go. Let's go around this side here. And this nose needs to be a little bit straighter, coming down like that. Curve around, and it needs to come down a little bit more like that. Let's see. All right. And then bring some shadow into here. And then let's go into here, right there. Let's go like this. All right, let's find some white here, some more white. See if we can capture some more of the highlight a little better. So we're gonna bring our highlight right down here along the bridge of the nose. We're gonna just do a nice big chunk of white coming down right to the front, right here. This nice little nose triangle. Let's go. Let's see, we're gonna have some in here. Bring this down, start to shape the neck a little bit. And definitely we can move up into the shadow just a little bit into this area. And let's go bring this up here. Yes, cats. Yeah, there's a little kitten right there. What's up, little guy? His name's Cheeto. What's up, Cheeto? How you doing, man? You enjoying your brand new life, huh? Isn't it amazing? A cat's. He's just got a brand new life. Like he's like totally new into this world. He's been around for less than like a month. Isn't that wild? Who thinks that's interesting? I find that fascinating, right? I mean, I guess you could say that about anything that's newly born, right? But this is the here and now. This is what's going on right now. Trying to find if his eyes definitely look a little weird because these highlights, the way these highlights are sitting, and this eye is definitely a lot wider. So let's go ahead and close that eyelid a little bit. His eyelids are a little bit closed and squinted, and we're gonna come around, bring this highlight right into there. Let's actually bring some of this hair down a little bit. So we're gonna come down with it. There we go. Bring some of these hairs down. We're gonna come like this. And let's see, let's add a little bit of a hair whisper right there. And let's see, building this up. So what are we painting? This is a painting of Belisarius, a bust of Belisarius. So there's a statue. This statue is actually in the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. So it's in the Getty, and I had this picture of it a while ago, and I just decided today to go ahead and just go to paint it. Today is the day that I've decided to paint this figure that I've had sitting around in my my list of things to paint for a little while. And this is a paint over from another painting. This is actually painted over another painting. So just working on keeping the skills fresh, trying out new things. I don't usually paint busts and things or sculptures. Going a little different here. Doing something a little different. prefer to paint people. A lot of these colors are somewhat muddy, so we're just going to build up our values here. Let's see how we can bring in some of these highlights along the top and to change the design here. So let's go into this triangle section right here. We're just going to lay it down and just paint it up. Give it a little bit of a little triangle action there. And then let's see, some more triangle action right here. Well, maybe not triangle action, just some line action right there. Highlight action is what we need. So get a little bit of more highlight action right here going. And then we're going to come down like so. And let's go like this. It's interesting because there's all these little raised areas with pops of color from the previous painting. So it's really interesting textured. It's really interesting textured surface. All right, let's clean off this brush. Let me see about his nose. His nose, right here, we got a little triangle for his nose here. We need some mild shadows. So we need some mild shadows, which we could probably bring in a little bit of red. Darken red. Let's go with this. Your dark red base. And let's see about this. Let's go. I'm gonna go with like reds, purples. Keep this pretty warm here. So we're gonna come right. How do the eyes look right now? This eye still looks a little higher, but that's okay. That actually looks not bad. This side looks a little bit wonky, but that's not bad either. I think these eyes actually look okay. This side might be a little too far apart, but we're just gonna run with it. So let's run with it. We're gonna come around like here. for the eyebrows. Add in some more colors. And then same thing right here. It's going to come around. It's going to be a nice deep shadow right on the edge here. Let's try to find some more of this red shadow. Come up right into here. Let's add some of this color in just to have like a little variety of colors in here. Bring this down right there. And how are we looking? You can see the swirl, like you can see down here, right? Yeah. Let's bring in some of these ochres here. We're gonna bring some of these out. We're just gonna let some of these drip out. Let's just let it drip around. You know, move around. Staying pretty loose with this. And just building up the colors bit by bit. There's definitely a few areas that I could see that are, you know, I'm probably gonna have a challenge with. But we're just gonna keep going and modifying and just doing what we do best, paint. Just paint. That's what we do. That's what I do. And I woke up this morning and I was like, what if painting was the only thing I could even do? Not that I was even good at it, but just like, what if painting was the only thing I knew how to do that is a skill in life? And it kind of scared me a little, you know? What if this is the only thing? What if? Like I know it's not. I think humans are capable of mastering at least a couple things throughout a lifetime, right? If you take 10,000 hours, you could probably, if you take 10,000 hours throughout a lifetime, you could, technically speaking, a human could probably master at least like, I think I read the math somewhere. Humans can master like 10 things or eight things really well if they commit themselves over the course of a lifetime to the 10,000 hour rule is the definition of mastery, right? If we use that as the definition of mastery, if you spend 10,000 hours doing anything, and if you use that as a gauge of mastery, I think I read somewhere that 10,000 hour rule is pretty gold. And I was like, if for whatever reason I only spent 10,000 hours doing painting, what would I do? Would I fail? Like what would that even suggest? And of course, luckily that's not the situation. I have all sorts of things I could do. Otherwise, life would be too boring, right? If you could only do one thing in your entire life, that'd be kind of boring, don't you think? Maybe it's just my opinion, but fortunately, it's not the case, and I could do other things. But it was something that crossed my mind. What if painting was the only thing I knew how to do? What would I do? I'd probably be doing exactly what I'm doing right now, live streaming my artwork. But, you know, let's go in here, fill in all these spaces. And let's go, boom. I think this is a fun type of painting. It's not too structured. You get to here's the one great thing about painting that I find, another reason why painting is so awesome is you really can just play around for as long as you want to. I think some artists do super detailed work. Super detailed work, not just because that's what they truly enjoy. And I guess I don't really speak for anybody, but I just have this assumption that sometimes, when I get really detailed into something, I feel as if the reason for it isn't because I just love putting in detail, but sometimes I just don't know what my next project's gonna be. I just spend extra time doing details, and you just get so caught up in details that you want to get things right, and sometimes you just don't move on. You just don't move on. Until you have to. I think this is starting to come together a bit. Starting to see the sculpture element of it. Try to find, let's go down into here. We're gonna have a little bit of a shadow right there. Starting to get the idea that maybe this is marble. Can anybody tell that this is marble yet? Probably not. It's probably a little far off from being able to tell that it's marble. Let's go into this ear. We'll add another shadow right into here. Subtle shadow. Some shadow right there. All right, we'll clean off this brush. Actually, you know what? This is a perfect canvas that allows us to express ourselves. Express ourselves by adding brushwork all around. No paint needs to go wasted. Paint can go all around our figure here. All right, let's go on. Let's see. Let's keep building up our white. Let's build up our white a bit more. So we're gonna take our white paint and just go where do we need a highlight? We need a highlight right, of course, right on the top of the head here. So we're just gonna go right here. Make sure we have the highlight that we need. And here we go. So we're gonna go bring down some of the hair here a little bit further. We've lost a little bit of the hair into the background here. So we want to try to bring it back. Grab our white again. Thank goodness for our Georgian Daler-Rowney white. This is a great titanium white through Daler-Rowney. It's a great rendition of the Zigzag Man. So the Georgian Daler-Rowney gives you packs of 2, which I think is absolutely brilliant. 2 packs of 200 milliliter whites. Now, I use so much white in all my paintings. I don't understand why every other company has not jumped on the 2-pack, large pack of white. Because I use so much of it, and I know that I know that I'm not such a special artist that I'm the only one who uses that much white. I just can't be. I just can't imagine how I could possibly be the only one that uses that much white. So much so that not every company has already jumped on this bandwagon, but every company loves to like sell so many different oil paints separately. But really, I don't think that's necessary. They just gotta capture a few really important colors. So thank goodness for this white, because I like having a titanium white. I like having a mixing white. I like having a white that is white that's a little bit rougher, like depending on the tube, the brand. Some brands, it's just the quality of pigment is so high that you want to use it for just those special occasions when you're topping off something with white. But if you want something for mixing and for certain levels of detail work, or if you want white for like just messing around, paintings to mess around with, you want a white like Daler-Rowney Georgian brand. This gives you freedom to just play around and do stuff like this. Whereas honestly, yeah, I have this other tube of Gamblin. It's a, the Gamblin Artist Oil. I don't use this very often because I know that it's so much denser. It's not as creamy. And, I know that the amount of pigment that's in it is probably a lot more. And therefore, I don't use it as often. I just, if I need to top something off, I might use it, but for the most part, I don't. Okay, let's see this. Let's try to find some of this area. Some of the space here. Is this that? Yeah, this is kind of like that. We're gonna come around and let's go like that. Got some hair right here. Some hair right here. Let's go like, what is this zigzag man? Alexa, what is the zigzag man?
From Amazon.sg. Eddie Chapman, alias Agent Zigzag, was the most notorious British double agent of the Second World War.
He looks like this looks like the Zigzag Man, the British double agent. That's interesting. All right, well, there we have it. This is the Zigzag Man. It's actually Belisarius. King Belisarius. I think he was some sort of emperor or something who did something spectacular that made people remember him. He's a common recurring theme in a lot of like classic art. Belisarius, just like Julius Caesar, but I don't know why he didn't quite as esteemed. All right, let's go. Might start a new painting soon. In a few moments here, we're gonna start something else because I need to let some of this dry. Because if I don't let this dry, the paint just gets really, really mushed up. So Dave, it's Sunday. How is this Sunday going for you? Are you doing everything you dreamed of on a Sunday afternoon? I know I am. Painting. Yes. Wonderful act of painting. Very exciting. It's exciting when you when there's you get to just paint and explore and feel out your own ways of doing things. That's fun. Let me see, this shadow's looking a little funky here. The shadow's looking a little funky. Russ, what's up, Russell? Zigzag Man is the graphic on rolling page. Oh, all right. Did not know that. There we go. Well, maybe they'll purchase this idea off me, this painting, and this will be the new Zigzag Man. I'm painting the new Zigzag Man. New and official Zigzag Man. Let's go. What's up, Russell? How you doing? I'm sure Dave is probably glad to have someone in here that knows what he's talking about. Like, I feel, what's funny is, Dave and I don't think we'd, in real life, I don't think we'd ever really like hang out. Not because Dave, I don't really know you, but just technically speaking, right now, right? But I think what's interesting is to, think that Dave's chilling here, I'm chilling here, Russell is chilling here, and somehow, we're all just like we're just connected in some way, That's the power of the internet. You connect with people that you might not ever really just interact with in person, It's great. It's a wonderful thing. Because when was the last time, you saw someone painting, you just like stopped to hang out with that person, right? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Only through social media does that ever occur. So I think he's coming along. I like the purples, I like the reds. I'm gonna add some highlight into this section right here. A little bit of highlight, like a white streak. And this ear. I think I gotta make this ear smaller. So how would I do that? What's a good way to tackle this ear idea right here, this ear concept that we got going on? I think I can bring out the area around the side of the face a bit further. So make this come down. And this is gonna have some hair. We're gonna bring some hair down. We're just gonna start to just cover up part of the ear. Define the face a little better with some structure coming down like this. I think that helps to shape the ear better. What am I thinking now? How do I want to approach all this? I do love how brushes can actually capture beards and stuff, because for using brushes, you can create these strokes that actually look like hair. And I think it's really effective to use a brush for capturing hair and stuff. But I think some of the hair is getting a little bit lost. But as long as I've got the major spaces, the major color areas, I think we could take a little break and we're going to go paint something else. We're going to do another painting here. Today is a day for painting. But the more I paint, the more I am amazed at people that have been doing things like painting every single day for who knows how many years. Because unlike a job. By the way, I heard this information somewhere. I don't know if it's true, but I read this research that the average person only works about like, actual work at their job only works something like 4 hours a day, including breaks. And like I'm talking like actual work. The job that they get paid for, the actual duty is like 4 hours a day between standing around, having lunch, and we're not just like talking about like this could be a wide range of jobs, but the average person really only puts in like somewhere between like 4 to 6 hours a day. I think was the number. Maybe let's just round it out to 5. And they're really only doing like 5 hours of activities per day, which I always found fascinating. So if you're working more than like, if you're going 8, no one ever like rarely, people rarely ever go 8 hours straight, nonstop, nonstop work, right? Like when was the last time anyone could say they did that? It's pretty rare. Like it is pretty rare, but it happens. And that just means that you've been overworked by your boss or whoever you did it for. I'm not saying anything, to like not do anything, to not to if that's a good thing or whatever. I'm just saying that's the data. That was the data that was presented. I always find that interesting. That the average person only works like 4, 5 hours a day at their job. Like just because you're there doesn't mean you're actually working. Right? Just because you're there, you might be on a bathroom break. You might be waiting for an email to come in. Like, and here's the other thing too. Now here I am sitting there, and I wonder to myself, where are those jobs, right? Where are those jobs that I really only needed to work 4 hours a day for full 8-hour pay? Because I've never had a job where that was the case, by the way. So I had a hard time believing that. But actually, you know what? I have had a couple jobs where I could, get away with taking breaks and stuff. But, the truth is like, and I'm sure there are some people that would take advantage of it. And I have had good jobs where I could just like chill for some of the time. But I still think it makes me wonder, where are those jobs? Where are those gigs where you can just chill most of the day? And I believe that statistic though. All right, Edits is back with a brand new title. Edits is no longer Edits, I guess, right? Is that what you're trying to say? Edits is no longer Edits. What's up, dude? Okay, let's find. I'm really letting this beard do a lot of the work, but I feel like this map is actually a little too high. But no matter. We're gonna grab our black here. And we're actually going to put this into the mouth. Go into the mouth. And establish our mouth here. Am I blocking anything? Nope. Okay, cool. So what's up, Edits? How you been? What's the latest? How do y'all make strokes make a painting look like a person? What do you mean strokes make a painting look like a person? If you thought so, like, you know, no, so this is a Belisarius. If you know Belisarius, I just barely learned about Belisarius in like the past year, but Belisarius was like an ancient ruler of some land. I don't know what land, but he did a lot of things. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy though. Historically speaking, I don't actually know if he's good or bad. But he's known, he's recognized. Like, how did I make this look like a person, or like, are you talking about a specific technique? But honestly, I think if you give yourself 100 hours, if you say, hey, over the next couple of months, I'm gonna paint for at least 100 hours, I think you could get good at it. Anyone could get good at something that they become obsessed enough with. I believe that. If you become obsessed with painting for 100 hours over the course of a month or even a year, I think you get good at it. I think that is the truth. There it is. There's the truth. There's a secret to success and making a painting look like a human. Does anyone want to look at my? Let's go through some of my early drawings here. To go through some early drawings through my sketchbook, just like see how bad they used to be. All right, so pretty basic stuff right here: cabinets, objects. Exactly, eyes, nose, mouth. I don't know what this is. This figure. You know, and then you do like all these classic, you know, the round-shaped head stuff. Do lots of practice. I always had these issues. You just keep doing it until you figure out your issues, right? Like I would make my faces so very flat or like weirdly shaped. Like this face right here. I don't know what's up with that face. What's up with that face? That's such a weird face, right? I was thinking about doing a project erasing all of my pencil drawings. I might do that one day. Like here's another drawing. But here's the other thing too, by the way. So the other thing about drawing versus painting is with painting, I actually have a lot of like, with painting, I can like modify and erase and paint over for hours and days. And, you know, with drawings, like, you know, there's only so much I could really do with the drawing. I could keep editing and erasing and all that, but it doesn't really lend itself to a good drawing if you just constantly erase, right? So, you know, I don't know where you're coming from, if you actually painted or you're just thinking about painting, but you spent your time drawing and you're like, oh, you're just fascinated that anybody could turn paintings into drawings. But like, I think if you are coming from drawing and you've tried painting and you're, you know, maybe concerned about your ability to paint, I think the biggest thing to know about painting is that you have a lot of room to mess up. You have a lot of room to mess up and just build things up and stuff. Any books I'd recommend for a beginner? Well, it depends on whether you're talking painting or drawing. So Laura Des Art, what's up, Laura? How you doing? I'm really glad. Thanks, Laura, for sharing some of your thoughts. You know, it looks like Laura probably has a channel. So Laura, if you're over the age of 18 and you want to plug your channel, feel free to. I'm totally open when artists plug their own channels, but But I'm gonna give you 4 books to start off with. So we're gonna go with 4 books here. What's up, Rodrigo? So if you want to get into painting, I highly recommend, learning a little bit of drawing first. You don't necessarily need to know how to draw to paint. Although, a lot of experts recommend it, but I don't think so. I think if you're the type of person that can just jump into something that you're like, hey, I'm gonna just jump into this and start doing it, then don't worry so much about the drawing books. Learn to draw while you're painting. But this is one book. This is probably the most basic, simple, best beginner book. Not just because so Craig Stevens goes through like step by step of painting really simple objects, lemons and slices of apples and pears and strawberries. And this is the type of book that's great to have on a shelf because you realize that at the end of the day, if you want to paint something, you never run out of inspiration. This book is literally saying, like, I can never run out of inspiration. I always have something to paint because there's always an object somewhere that I can paint. And it's a really simple book, but it's just simple exercise after simple exercise of how he paints these still lifes of objects. Hey, take care, George. And then here's another one if you want to do more complex objects and you want like a full rundown. I mean, everyone knows Dummies books. And everyone knows Dummies books are pretty like the best possible tutorial books that you can just like depend on to give you full coverage of everything you need to know. Is it the best painting lesson book out there? No. But is it, one of the best brands and reliable, dependable references for dummies, the entire series? Yeah, it's probably one of the best references. But if you want to start with drawing, I mean, check out the Andrew Loomis figure drawing, hands and figure drawing set. So this is the figure drawing for all it's worth set, figure drawing for all it's worth, drawing the head and hands, and teaches you how to draw the figure and how to draw the hands. So let's actually pull this out real quick. I think the best one, let's just start with drawing the head and hands, right? Okay. So drawing the head and hands, because you said, how do you make something look like a human? That's going to be the most important. So if you watch the previous stream, my previous stream, I actually started this painting. And during that stream, you could hear me kind of like talking through, the length of the nose, where the mouth should be placed, how the eyes look, where the chin should be, where the mouth should be. So you could probably, you heard me talking about those things. And Andrew Loomis has a really good book on drawing the head and hands. These are youth heads, adult faces, older faces. And if you can draw these, the thing is, if you can draw, you can definitely paint. But if you can paint, it doesn't necessarily mean you could draw, I guess, because I think the biggest difference with drawing and versus painting is that painting, like again, you can really I could just keep painting, adjusting, painting over, moving, modifying. Yeah, the oil painting course you've always wanted. Yeah, I have that too. I don't know where it's at, but I have that too. That's a good one. I like that book. I think her style's a little bit too pretty for me. I think her style's a little like pretty. I love that like rough, rugged, raw style. But I love that book. I mean, these are just 2 of the books. I can't find where my copy is of the oil painting course you always wanted, but that's a great book too. So I highly recommend it. So thanks, Russell. Thanks for chiming in with that. I recommend that book as well. Yo, what's up, Scott? Yeah? What does that mean? What does air mean? What does that mean, pal? Can you say it again? Can you repeat yourself? Can you repeat yourself? Alright, that was my cat. He said something to me, so I had to respond. But should artists scream? Hey, yeah, you're welcome, Worm. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, whatever. But yeah, Russell, good book. And as Laura mentioned, Laura, take classes. By the way, take classes. I said earlier, I said that I recommended books, but hey, take classes. When I started using those books, I was studying to be a concept artist. I was started with digital art. And I was doing digital art, and I took I did all the drawings, the online classes, Proco, digital painting studio with Hardy Fowler. I did all those things, and I think with everything, I think one of the most helpful things was having good mentors to guide you, which I had through my concept study program, and online like live trainings. So this is a kitten that we have that's up for adoption. He's like, stop talking in my ear. I got to talk away from his ears. So he's up for adoption. He's got a little brother too. What's up, baby? What's up, baby boy? But he is it's about 2 months old, I think, a little less than 2 months. Don't you just love look at these, no oil paint, exactly, no oil paint. He likes to stand by me, so I took my gloves off just now. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I took my gloves off, and I'm gonna play with him for a couple until he gets bored of being in my hands, and I'll put him somewhere else so he'll distract him with something. He'll distract by himself doing something. There you go. What's up, dude? No oil paint on my hands. No oil paint. So he's an orange cat. Yes. The notorious orange. He doesn't act like an orange cat, though, does he? Does he seem to have orange cat qualities right now? Is he just staring? He's like the smartest orange cat there is, right? You're gonna raise the intelligence of every orange cat because of a single orange cat brain cell. Yeah, this one's chilling. He's chilling. Okay, you ready to get down, pal? You ready to go be on your own and do something with your life? Brother. Excuse me. So we're actually going to start another painting here in just a moment. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to start another painting. Let me pull up a new reference here. So let's see. What's my? Where got this reference? I'm trying to wonder if I should do what kind of painting I should do because I have a few references. I'm trying to think if I want to do a desert landscape or a very bright green garden with very complex things on it, or whether I want to do desert landscape, bright garden, or something else. Desert landscape or bright garden. Let's see. Or a kitten sitting on top of the toilet. Kitten on a toilet. That sounds cute, right? Kitten on a toilet, desert landscape. Kitten on a toilet or desert landscape. Alright, we're gonna go with the desert landscape. So we're actually starting another painting tonight. I'm not done with this. Actually, you know what? I could call this finished. I don't know. I mean, this is just a quick practice piece. Nice little exercise piece. Maybe I'll paint over it again because this is a paint over on top of a different painting. Let me find my phone. I gotta take a photo. Photo for the gram. Wants to be tagged in this painting on my Instagram. Let me know. You just add me and then I'll do it. In collaboration with. Consider all my viewers collaborators in some way. Because every comment that's shared is, creates a reaction to me in some way. Some of them are positive reactions, some of them are negative reactions, some of them are just whatever. But any comment could have transformed the entire trajectory of this painting. Someone could have been like, hey, dude, I'll give you $100 if you paint Deadpool into your painting somehow. And it could have been a Deadpool or something. But anyway, let's go. Desert landscape, new set of gloves. Let's party. Party. Party with painting. Let's go. Yeah, chill cat. Honestly, I think we're really close to being finished. I'm not going to keep pushing this further today. Maybe tomorrow. I'm ready for another one. I just feel like I got to keep moving, This is why I don't do abstract paintings. It's because I feel like if I went into abstract, I could make 100 in one day. And I could make 100 abstract paintings in a single day. I could be relentless with abstract painting. Not because it's easy, but because it's just expressing, getting your ideas out there, expressing yourself in a way that you want. I think that's pretty easy. All right, let's go. What are we gonna do with this canvas? What are you grunting about, Pookie? Huh? What's so hard in your life? What you grunting about, huh? Really grunting? Grunting about nothing? Grunt about nothing. Alright, we're going to do this on a big canvas. Actually, you know what? If I do a big canvas, so I'm going to do a bigger canvas. This is a 24. It has cat prints. You know what? This one has cat prints all over it. I don't know if y'all can see all those little cat prints. So I think this would be perfect for a painting with a cat on it. So let's go ahead and swap these two out. Just gonna stick this up here for now. Let's go put this one to the side. And let's see, we're gonna bring this down a little bit. So I have to unlock a couple parts here. And how easy is it to raise and lower this easel? We'll find out. So what you can see right now, my hands underneath this little panel right here. So this thing that holds my paints right here, right underneath there's like a little spring hook. And as I pull it out, it locks into the different parts of this piece. So I pull it out and I drop it down. And there we have it. So, you know, this is about the height that I want it. Maybe a little bit higher. Did I even change? Okay. Anyway, so you get that height, you lock it in. There's like a little knob on the back that connects to the spine of this thing. And then this little piggy raises up so you can set it down and you just drop it in, lock the top of this. This little piggy drops it down. Super easy, super chill. So you're considering getting one of those easels or similar. Am I liking it? Yes, love this easel. So this is what I was using previously. This is what I was using previously. You know, one classic, you know, portable. What do you call this? French easel with storage. You pop it open, you drop the legs down, and you know. So I still use this for traveling. If I want to like go paint outdoors or whatever. So this is still great. I still keep this. I'm still gonna go paint outdoors. But here's the limitation. Was the max length of a painting that I could fit was 34 inches. And, you know, it works really well for anything painting under 34 inches, which is a lot. So, you know, you can go totally horizontally, you know, and you've got a lot of space. But I just knew it wasn't going to fit future paintings that I was going to do as I got bigger and bigger size canvases. Oh, it's locked still. Let's see, I wonder if I could just move the camera back. So yeah, I mean, the only thing is though, hopefully you have a friend or yourself that feels comfortable putting it together, because it took me about 2.5 hours. I did it on a live stream, and it took me about 2.5 to 3 hours to get it set up myself. But they do provide you with all of the tools and everything. But if you like to put things together, if you're an artist, I mean, chances are you probably like to put things together. So, you know, chances are you like to do stuff like that, like handy stuff. But I think it's worth it, only because my paintings have gotten much bigger. But if you're painting with, like, you know, if you're still working with smaller paintings, like, you know, this, for example, this size is a, I don't remember what size. This is like 6x8, or this would be like 8x7, or what's the standard size? 6x9, 9x6, or 8x4, or something. Anyway, 8x6. Like, you know, if you pop this off, if you're still working on paintings that are like much smaller, I mean, it's way too much it's way overkill, right? Like, this is overkill. Overkill. You don't need this big of a canvas. But if you do plan on going above, you know, 20, even like, I think the starting size of painting that you want to have for this is at least 2 feet. You want a painting that you're working at least 2 feet, you know, 2 feet dimensions before you pick this canvas up. And here's the thing. This is actually, although like vertically it goes much higher, so it actually almost touches my ceiling. So I raised it, I brought it down, but this can go through my ceiling, or this could, you know, get stuck on the ceiling if I wanted. And I forgot where I was going with what I was just saying. What was I just saying? Can't remember, excuse me. Can't remember. It was gonna be something about the width of all this, I guess, right? Something about the width. Or whatever. This works for big canvases. What was I gonna say? Jeez. Come on, Emmett. You already forgot what you were gonna say? Oh, was I something about horizontal? Or something? Oh yeah, that's another thing. Now this isn't what I was gonna say, but you can actually make this horizontal too. So the only thing is I haven't really experimented with the horizontal, but you know it's got the locks. Oh, here's what I was gonna say. You can actually make this horizontal, by the way. So if I wanted to, I could turn this into a tabletop and like do different types of pour paint. I'm not gonna do that right now because it's a lot of buttons and knobs and stuff. You got about 3 knobs on each side that you have to press in order to like start rotating and stuff. But what I was gonna say is that, so this goes vertical, it's really tall, and although it's bigger in mass than this one, I will say the problem with this one, even though it's a little smaller, is it has this one leg here, the one leg, and it just juts out. And if you ever paint outdoors, or if you paint inside a somewhat busy area of your home, which my apartment, you know, this area is a walked area, it's easy to get knocked into. It's easy to kick. You know, I've painted at parties, like live at parties before, and people are constantly kicking it, walking by. And it's not really their fault because it's just like, you know, here's the easel, and then like the leg just kind of like sticks out all the way. You know, just imagine that this is the end of the leg right here, and this is your easel, and like the leg just sticks out so far. So that can actually cause a lot of people to kick it, and that actually creates the actual like floor space needed for it quite a lot bigger. It's a lot more floor space that's required. This floor space is probably about like 2 feet by almost 3 feet, like 2 feet by 3 feet. It's like smaller than this canvas, maybe like right up to here. And it's square, like, you know, rectangular or whatever, like an almost square rectangle. But it's chunky and no one has tripped over it yet, which is good. Because if you're constantly kicking the other easel, the legs are very thin. They're not like very fragile, but you can see how easily it could get destroyed. So let's see, if I do rule of thirds, where's my cat? Where's the cat going? The cat needs to be like right here. Cat needs to be like right there. All right, let's go. We're going to take a big brush here, and we're going to lay down a ton of yellow ochre. That's what we're doing right now. I will also say, does mine have wheels? Yes, this has wheels. Good point. So this has wheels. Let me just show you here. So I don't know how you currently paint, by the way, but one thing about this that I had to get used to. So my regular easel has like this little pull-out drawer, and what I could do with that pull-out drawer is I could set my palette right in front of me. So, you know, pretend like, you know, this is my canvas, pretend it's the other easel, and I have this drawer that I could pull out, and I could just set this right here and it would be right in front of me. But now I can't. I have to have a little bit more space to set my palette down and work from. But yeah, so I'll show you right now about the wheels and everything. So can you see? That's the keyboard. So right here, these are little like notches that you turn, and this helps you, like, if you really need it to be stopped, this can go into the floor. It's got rubber stoppers, and it also helps you to level it. I haven't needed that. And then behind each of those is a wheel. I don't know if you can see right here, but there's a wheel behind each one, and it's just a click, just a little tap up or tap down to lock or unlock. That's it. But yeah, so it does lock. Now, here's the thing. I mean, if you're leaning on it, like if I suddenly just like start leaning on it, it's gonna move. But or if you're constantly like just really rough and like punching your canvas, it'll probably move. It'll move a little bit, but yeah, pretty good. So you said you have a tabletop easel. Yeah. Hey, well, I mean, this is if you're working from a tabletop easel, yeah. I mean, and you're ready to move on to some bigger pieces. This is great. Tabletop easels are awesome. I have a tabletop easel for drawing because my drawings don't usually but I don't usually have I don't go too big with my drawings. Why does this look crooked? Oh, there's people arguing. There's people arguing in the park. What's going on? What's going on out there, Scout? Can you give me a rundown? How you doing? How you doing, my boy? Too cool for a head bump? Huh? Give me a head bump. Get a head bump, bro. No head bumps? Too cool for head bumps? My cat, the older he gets, the cooler, way too cool for head bumps he gets. All right, so let's do something now. We're gonna do some spreading. We're gonna do a lot of, I'm gonna angle this a little bit more. I'm gonna angle this. So pretty easy, straightforward to angle. There's like 6 knobs. Or 3 knobs on each side, 6 total knobs. And you kind of have to turn them all at once in order for it to twist. I want to give this a little bit of an angle right now so you can see it's moving. I'm just giving a little bit of a tilt. You have to turn all 6 knobs, but it's not like, too difficult. Just got to make sure that they're locked in place, otherwise you will notice a little bit of movement. I just wanted to tilt it a little bit because I'm about to start throwing on some mineral spirit onto this. So I have a little dropper of mineral spirits. I don't think this is really going to give that much of an effect, but I like to keep this mineral spirit flowing. So, just dripping a bunch of mineral spirit. I think the better way to doing this is actually using a spray bottle. But I just want to drip a bunch of mineral spirits just around so I could really spray paint easy. I don't think this is going to help that much as far as what I'm doing right now, which is using a little dropper to cover this canvas. But I'm just having fun, just seeing how this goes. All right. That didn't do anything. What's really going to do something is this, using a paintbrush. So I've got this big old paintbrush. I'm going to bring my stuff right here. And here's my mineral spirits. So you want a mineral spirits. The thing with mineral spirits, with oil paint, this is why people complain about oil paints. Really, this is like the biggest thing that you got to worry about is mineral spirits or turpentine if you choose to use your turpentine. But this is to thin the paints, so that spreads easier. And basically, this is not totally airtight, but as airtight as you could possibly get on a mass-produced little thing. But it's supposed to be airtight, and it has this little like plastic or rubber. And it just stops here, and then you click the locks, and it provides a nice seal. But you need mineral spirits because it helps you to thin your paint. So what does thinning my paint mean? Let's do a little quick demo of this, right? Those of you that know oil paint, this is just another, Monday afternoon. But so oil paint, right? Let's take this nice big chunk, little chunk, big chunk, whatever. We're gonna take this chunk of oil paint, we're just gonna lay it down. Now you can see it's got like a thickness to it, it's got a density. It's not gonna move, right? It's not gonna move the way I want. My brush is getting stuck. Now here's the magic, right? Dip it in some oil, dip it in mineral spirits, turpentine or whatever, and it's just gonna start spreading. It's just gonna start spreading. And that's the whole point of mineral spirits, is this. It's like, it loosens up your paint so that you can spread it. That's it. That's like the main purpose. I mean, I also use it for cleaning, but this is the main purpose of mineral spirits, is really just to get, if you want to modify get your mineral spirits to act like water, this is what you use, mineral spirits. And I'm actually going to mix this with yellow and some ochre here, so we're going to throw some more color down there. Just some, well, let's get some, is purple going to come up? I like to mix up a whole bunch of different colors. Whatever colors I feel like are going to dry soon, I pretty much try to use. Dip it in mineral spirit. Right now I use like Tuscan pine for my mineral spirit. And this is the only reason to use it. It's just so you can get some nice spreadage, get a nice layer of paint going. Oh, here's something cool too that I just got. So I finally got a mottler brush, which is a big 4-inch brush that I hope will actually help me spread paint better. Let me see if it actually works. So this is what I'm talking about. I got a nice big 4-inch brush for got this nice big 4-inch brush for painting. And we'll see if it works. Let's grab some more of this green here. Grab some more green. Let's bring in our red here too as well. We don't want our red to go to waste and dry before it's too late. So let's just dab our red down there, dab some right here. And the only catch with this though is I don't have a big enough mineral spirit jar to dip this in, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. Maybe I just have to use the dropper to like drip it. Let's just see if that works. I don't know if this is going to be as effective for what I do. Yeah, I don't know. Mottler brush might be good for. It's not good for this purpose. I thought it would spread much better, but maybe I just need more mineral spirit on here. I really don't even know how I'm going to clean this either. I thought it would be way better. I thought it was totally going to change the game. I probably need like half this as far as the brush goes. This mottler brush, it's a 4-inch, but it doesn't fit in my cleaning materials. So that's a problem. I didn't really think about that. Let me see here. Let's go like this. It's gonna drip a lot of this all over. Let's just drip it. Drip it around. Drip, 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 drip. Drip, 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 drip. around. Drip. Let's see how this goes here. That helped a little, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to maximize the use of this brush. It helps a little bit, but it's not like. I do like that it's getting me some really nice, like, deep colors, but it's not working. I might even throw this brush away after the day, because there's no way, like, this brush is going to go bad after the day, because I can't clean it. I like these colors though. These get some nice matte red, nice matte green come together. These are some beautiful colors. I could see this, becoming its own like abstract style. What's up, Omi? Omi Zoo Omi Zoo. So by the way, this is someone else recommended this a Mottler brush, but it's not doing the job that I thought it would do. And yeah, no, it's just not. It's not gonna be. This is not it. This is not the solution. Maybe if I dip it in some oil. Let's try this. If I dip it in oil. The only problem with this is it's going to defeat the fat over lean principle. Oh, well, that helped a little bit. It's just going to ruin the fat over lean principle, which means that I could have a lot of issues along the way. I could have a lot of issues along the way with this painting. But I'm not doing that many layers. I don't usually paint that many layers anyway, so, whatever. Whatever works is how we're going to do this. This is a very wet painting. So what's going on, Omizu? How's your Sunday afternoon or evening going? I guess it's evening now, huh? It is in the evening. We are in the evening now. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. Dun, 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 da, 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 da. You know what I could also do? I could fill more mineral spirits. So let me go grab my mineral spirits here. So this is what I use. Mineral spirits, Tuscan Pine, Studio Solve, odor-free, clear, lean and clean. Fat over lean. So it's very lean material. And I just basically poured it into that container that I shared with everybody. That is so wild. So if you look in here, look in this container, it looks like there's like areas of holes. Like these little missing spots, but that's not on the, you can't see that on here. It's really weird. All right, so we're gonna fill our mineral spirit jar, which reminds me I need to get some more mineral spirits soon. Probably within the next month. All right, let's grab this. Yeah, dip this in like a donut. What am I painting today? So I finished another painting, but I'm gonna paint my cat sitting on the toilet. Ah, there we go. That actually works. If I could get this brush actually covered with mineral spirit, this works very well. Honestly, I can see this brush being very useful for like large abstract paintings. But I really don't see it being that much better for. I thought what I'd be able to use this for is just covering the whole canvas, real nice and quick. I just don't think that that's going to be the case. It's not going to be. It's not as efficient as I, dreamt it would be. Or maybe I should just, learn the right way to do it. And honestly, so much mineral spirits. I swear I get some headaches sometimes. That's another thing, by the way, oil paint. If you're very sensitive to stuff, aka mineral spirit, just be aware. I painted a very well ventilated place. You could hear my door, right? You can hear my door open. You can literally hear the outside, all the cars, the people yelling, all that. It really sucks to paint during summertime because sometimes I do really, really want to paint. I can't stop, and I gotta leave the doors closed because it's just so dang hot, and that can be a problem. But the majority of the time, living in California makes it very helpful because in California you can have the windows open pretty much like 8 months out of the year. During the coldest winter, definitely, but like during the summers, for the really hot, extremely hot 3 months of summer that we get, you definitely do not want to leave your windows open because you will suffer. More ventilation or respirator. Yeah, exactly. More ventilation or a respirator. So we're going to throw in our brush material here. Just go in with our mineral spirit here, just peeling it across, making sure that we cover the full canvas. And I don't even know, like, I'm using so much paint or like mineral spirit. I don't know if it's going to be effective to paint on top of it. We'll see. I don't have a consistent process, by the way, people. Like I have a consistent concept, right? Like I know I need to fill the initial canvas with color. I know I need to do that, right? I know I need some semblance of like a sketch or an underpainting, or I can dive right into it. I don't necessarily need like an underpainting. I consider this part of the underpainting, even though it's not like a rendered. I don't know if the technical definition of an underpainting is it's like rendered or whatever. Like if it has to be rendered in some way, as in more defined, more detail. Constantly looking for my next show. I haven't found another show yet. I'm currently not in a show. I recently I have to go actually pick up my paintings tomorrow from my most recent show, which, fortunately a painting sold. But it is a game, right? It is a game of constantly on to the next thing. If you want to, do art as close to full time as possible, right? Beyond just like part time work. You got to get in shows, I guess. At least that's the game for me. I mean, maybe there's a more efficient way, like finding a gallerist or something, or finding curators, or already having a book of business of collectors who want your work. It's sad picking up a painting. It's like, oh, nobody wanted it. Wah. Nobody wanted it. How could they? Yeah. So, I'm right there with you, Mizu. An underpainting can be anything. But I think some people say that it has to be like, some form of rendering of the final image, or like, it has to like be sketched out or whatever. It has to have a certain level of detail or whatever, right? But that's what I was trying to go for. You got me. You understood me there. That's what I was trying to express with my words. So my mineral spirits are dripping everywhere. It is getting all over this. But I think ideally, it dries very quickly. So I don't know how long this will take to dry. Hopefully not too long. I think I could actually start working on this right away though. All right, let's paint the sides here. So go down with the sides, put my mineral spirit up. Oh, can't do that. And let's get rid of this paint booger right here. Drop that. Yep. The paint booger has fallen. Paint booger has fallen. All right, we're done this side. Even saying an underpainting can be anything is not necessarily correct, but it's also not incorrect. You're right. Look at that. Isn't that a loophole, huh? So just going down the sides here. I think I'm gonna be black. You know what? Let me go on the other side. Just switch sides here, right? No need to block the camera if you don't need to. Rule number 1, never turn your back to the camera. Even Bob Ross probably never had his back to the camera. I know I do a lot because, you know, of my angle and everything. I'm really amazed at how much paint I actually got off so far. All right, we're gonna leave that for now. Like, this is a painting in itself. We call it The Golden Light in a Cave by Emmett Ferguson, an original. All right, let's see. I think a lot of the mineral spirit has already evaporated in some way. Got a paint booger here that got ingrained into the canvas. All right, let's clean this brush off. This little Mottler brush here. First time using this. I don't know, you know what? I think it could be really good for if I'm trying to like do a spray effect, like, you know, doing a spray effect here. Or I don't know, maybe if I have even bigger canvas, if I work on even bigger canvases and I, you know, leave it on the floor, I can probably use this to create some different effects. But I think for this purpose, this is a bit, I don't know, I still don't have a good use for this one yet. But that said, let's go ahead and get started on painting. So I've got my reference next to me. Let's see, let's get a sketch started. We're gonna go sketch. This is what you do when you don't have TV to watch. You paint a lot. So I'm going to put my cat. Let's see. Rule of thirds. Rule of thirds is the most easy rule to remember in all of composition. Is rule of thirds. Anything that you want to be noticed, you put it in the third. So you separate your canvas into thirds, right? So 1, 2, 3. And in order to fill those 3 lines, right? So 1, 2, 3. There's 2 lines for each section, right? So 1, 2, 3 columns, and then the rule of thirds, you have these 2 lines going down, imaginary lines or real lines, depending on what you're doing. And then across, right? You 1, 2, 3 rows, and then each of those rows has what's called like a line that separates the row by thirds. And basically, rule of thirds says to put the things that you want the most attention drawn to into that line. So that's the idea. And now I'm thinking like rule of thirds. Rule of thirds, something like that. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. But rule of thirds is probably. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what size is this painting? This size is 36 inches, so 3 feet. So I'm thinking, every foot. So basically, this is about a foot, right? And it's about another foot. So somewhere like right here is where I want my cat. This is where I want the cat. So we're just gonna sketch him out right around here. He's gonna be chilling right here. Maybe it's not perfect, but that's okay. And we're gonna go give him a nice big body here. This is a very big painting. He lives in a very big world, right? He was a baby cat when I took this photo. A little baby cat. I'm still just doing a sketch out here. You can already see that the sketch is going to be a little bigger than it needs to be. Can you tell that that's a cat? You can kind of tell it's a cat. Isn't it interesting how some animals you just kind of like start with their shape and you just happen to know what they are? Or maybe I'm just delusional right now. Like, yeah, everybody knows this is a cat. Obviously, it's a cat. Duh. Who could think that this is not a cat? It's so obvious. My drawing is so good that it's obviously a cat. But it's a black cat, so this will be an interesting image because it's a black cat. How do you draw a black cat? Because everything just kind of disappears into each other. It all comes down to the bean toes, right? All right, let's go circle around him. I'm just gonna put him on top of a toilet seat. My cat used to love toilets. I don't know why. I'm sure everyone's got a pet that does something weird. So, please don't insult my cat by saying that he's weird for loving toilet seats. You can make fun of my cat. Just not maliciously. All right. So, yes, goofy boy. Goofy little cat. He loves toilets. He loves to stand on top of toilets. He loves to, when we accidentally leave the toilet open, just like a dog, he likes to drink out of the toilet or like crawl in there and see what's going on, which is really gross, yes. Let's go. We're going to come down like right here. Get our toilet bowl going. And we're going to come out around here. How do I do this? Let's see. We're going to come around because I don't have the full whole toilet, so I kind of have to make a lot of stuff up. What I could do is just go look at my toilet and try to figure it out, but what's the fun in that? Let's make shit up. Oh, excuse my language, I'm on Amazon Live right now. This is an 18 older live stream. So let's just make stuff up. I remember where I'm streaming from. I'm gonna make a design. Why not design a more beautiful toilet, huh? Let's design a more beautiful toilet. Even if it's not practical. And here we go, we're gonna come up like this. This is gonna take us up to right about there. It's a nice big toilet tank. So I'm painting a lot today, I think partially because I don't have a television. So my partner and I, Kat, our television broke the other day, and we're trying to see who gives in first. We're like, let's see who feels like they need a television more. Who needs a television more, me or her? So this is a challenge, a personal challenge for the both of us. See who actually gives in needing a TV first. I think it's going to be her. But we can take bets. We can take bets on who needs TV more. But I definitely think that if my TV didn't break the other day, I might not be painting today. Right now, I might be doing something else less productive, like watching TV or playing a video game. So thank goodness for that that TV break. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful that my TV broke. And honestly, I pretty much don't use my laptop anymore. Like, I don't do anything on a computer. For this part, I don't really do much on computers. So, everything is on like a TV or my PS5 or whatever. Like, even reading a book, occasionally I read, but, not really. So this would be a good way to quit certain things. Let's go like this. We're going to come up and around to this little piggy. There's a sink here. I call my paintings very slice of life, Slice of life. All right, we've got the basic sketch done, just a nice big sketch out, and let's go ahead and let's just paint my cat black. Let's just start with that, because he is a black cat. Can't even tell any other color. I mean, when we actually do eventually paint him in more detail, you can notice some subtle color differences. That's the one thing that's beautiful about black cats. If anyone ever has a chance to adopt one, one thing that you notice is like they are so colorful. They capture the light. They capture the light and like color in every single change of lighting, right? In the morning light, in the evening moonlight, in the whatever sunlight, in all the different lighting methods you could possibly imagine. Black cats, like they are like chameleons. Sometimes they're purple, sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're like a dark red, deep red. Sometimes, you know, they're velvet black. Sometimes they're white. Black cats have a lot of variety as far as their color goes. And I need a bigger brush. I'm still working with a small ass brush, which, you know, is not helping me in any way, really. So if you can get a black cat, I highly recommend it. The appropriate name, the proper name for a black cat, the breed name is a void cat, VOID, because their origins are technically from voids, from another dimension, voids of another dimension. I don't know if everyone knows that. That might not be common knowledge, but you know, if you have a purebred black cat, chances are that they have evolved from many generations, that either their mama cat or daddy cat or the cat itself was literally birthed out of the void. But obviously if you're superstitious and, you know, bad luck tends to follow you around, don't get a black cat, because your superstitions will probably, I don't know about your superstitions. What about superstitions? You know, I just discovered this when when we adopted Scout, our black cat. I just found out that they're the ones that get unalived the most in shelters, because people have a superstition that they're somehow otherworldly. I guess calling it a void cat doesn't necessarily help in a situation, but I mean, I think it's hilarious. But some people have no sense of humor. Some people have no critical thinking skills, right? Like, how can anyone living in modern society think that a black cat is actually bad luck? It's like, you know, you just think about it. Use some common sense, right? Just common sense, people. This isn't 1600s Salem, Massachusetts. I don't usually like to insult people, but or say people don't have common sense. But if you think that black cats are bad luck, then you don't have common sense. So I don't know. Is that insulting? Whatever. All right. Let's find bigger brush. The mineral spirits is spreading. The smell of the mineral spirits is spreading. I can feel it. I can sense it. I need a nice brush that will do this job right now. The job that I need is a slightly bigger brush to be able to spread paint. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna paint nice and thick with this layer here. I'm gonna dip a little bit of mineral spirit, just a hint of mineral spirit, to get a little bit more spreadability into our cat here. There we go. tail tucked away. And then this other foot is going to come around right here. I'm going to have to show the bean toes. And then his other foot spread out under his mouth. And here's a interesting thought. You know, painting wise, there's all these things that, like, you know, when you're painting, you're constant, especially if you're, you know, looking to work professionally or whatever, constantly thinking, you know, like, you might be wondering, like, should I paint this? Because no one's gonna buy a painting of my cat sitting on my toilet, right? No one's gonna buy that. So sometimes you have to make paintings for yourself, I think. Sometimes you got to make paintings that are for yourself, not for somebody else. And you still find joy out of it. You still get practice. You still get exercise. You still get to work out your painting muscles, your creative muscles. Does that look like a cat? I think that looks like a cat, right? That looks like a black cat. That's a cute black cat. That's my black cat right there. That's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy. He's my boy. My boy. I gotta round out his back a little bit more. His back's not that angular. That's my boy. That's my cat. That's my cat. Don't wear it out. Alright, we're going to paint some shadow into here. This is going to be a nice little shadow area. As we start to build this out. Start to build out this painting. We're going to get some shadow spaces. A bit of shadow right into here. Let's see, where else can we find a shadow? We can find a shadow down in this wall down here. Behind the toilet. You know, maybe I keep this painting pretty flat and like not get too overly bogged down with details, you know? Or maybe I do get really bogged down with details. We'll see. We shall see. Only time will tell. Sometimes I don't know. That's the one thing I can never, why I know I can never paint like Richard Schmidt. So Richard Schmidt, let me just give you a little rundown. So Richard Schmidt, very highly renowned painter who wrote the book Alla Prima and Alla Prima 2. And he wrote these books. That's about everything I know about painting and more. So obviously he's an amazingly, brilliantly talented painter. He's won many awards. Does figurative, beautiful, amazing, brilliant, colorful, expressive, like everything, right? Everything you try to compliment a painter with, Richard Schmidt has it. Expressive, beautiful, colorful, accurate, but not overly accurate. Like, you know, it's like the perfect artist, right? It's accurate, but it's not totally accurate. It's expressive, but not, you know, so abstract that you could shrug him off because you think he has no actual figurative talent, right? He's got great ideas, paints from life, and he can also paint from imagination, right? So all these things, and so obviously really talented painter. But here's why I don't think I could ever paint like Richard Schmidt is he constantly says in his books, he's like, see exactly what you want before you get it on, before you start painting. And I don't. I really do not see exactly what I want before I start painting. And even after I'm done painting, I still love to change things. You know, I might totally change my style from like, you know, this like clean style to something rough and painterly. And maybe I'm misinterpreting his words. I don't know. I'm not, you know, I haven't had a chat with him. I've read his book, and his main piece of advice is, you know, always to know exactly what you want to do before you do it. That's like his most common. That's been repeated in his book a couple times. And I look at an image and I'm like, oh, okay. Let me put in this shadow. Let me put in that shadow. And I don't know if this is going to go more expressive, less expressive. Maybe I'll keep this background. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's like a roulette wheel for me. It's like roulette. Let's play roulette. All right. Let's go green. We're going to grab hit the green here. Let's pop this green in. This green's going to look great. Bring like a pastel green into this. It's right here. Nice pastel green. Cat? Oh, what's up, Pat? You want to see our kittens? Huh? You want to see the kittens?
Yeah, babies.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take off my gloves. You want to take them in your place for a little while?
Want to come in?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
1 second.
The baby orange cats.
Yeah, come here, little babies. They get out pretty easily. There you go. Got him?
Sort of.
There you go. You know how to handle a cat.
Thanks for putting the trash cans out.
Oh yeah, that was Cat. Yeah.
Adam's in Hawaii this week.
Yeah. Good trip.
And these are just loners, right?
So we're taking care of them for the loners. They're fosters, but we're taking care of them because the other guys went on vacation.
You're so fluffy. And it's a real good show.
Yeah, they're cute. They're sweet. Sweet little guys. They're big fast. You gonna adopt one?
No.
No?
We always had cats. We had 3 over the years.
Yeah.
And, I missed the last one.
Yeah. They're great.
Thanks. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sure. Let me go put it in the bedroom. So I'm painting now, so. Yep. 1, 2. Alright, Pat. See ya. Alrighty, let's see. Let's keep going. What was it? Where was I? I was sharing some kittens with neighbors. Sharing is caring. Sharing cats is caring. Okay. Let's go like this. It feels warm all of a sudden in this apartment, like extra warm. Let me find a little bit more yellow. I got this great little green. Ooh. Let me use some of our yellow. Cad yellow light. I want to use our cad yellow light right here. Cadmium yellow light. Drop that down into this little pile here. Oh, come to think of it, this is the color I should be using around the cat. Let's go like this. grab some more of this color. I'm gonna add some mineral spirit onto this brush just to enhance the spreadability, because this first layer, this first layer is really just to get some of the colors defined. These are not going to be the final colors. And honestly, some people might even do it with like a single tone, like they call it monochrome sketch or monochrome painting, which basically just means it's all done in one monochromatic, with like basically one color, and they just add values. They add values. You do the values. Nice wet paintbrush. I love it. I love a nice wet paintbrush. And like when it comes to manipulating oil paint, it's really not that hard. Like it can be a little bit. I've actually never used acrylic, so I don't know exactly like what the technicalities of it are. But some people are intimidated by oil for whatever reason, and I just don't get it. I don't know. I was born doing oil paint. I was born into the darkness. But you can see what's kind of cool. So I use so much mineral spirit that the oil paint beneath has already pretty much dried. Like you're not seeing me pick up too much of the undercolor from underneath. I am a little bit, but it's not overwhelmingly so. Which that can sometimes cause a problem if the paint's underneath is still too wet. But if you use mineral spirits, you reduce the amount of time that it stays dry. I mean, it's almost like, honestly, if you use a extra mineral spirit, and like the more mineral spirit you use, I feel like you can make your paint dry even faster than acrylic sometimes. Maybe not totally dry, but dry enough that you can work on top of it without worrying too much. And let's go into here, and we're just gonna paint this down. Let's go bring this color down. I'm gonna go get this nice and let's get these colors. Let's get these colored in. Now we're gonna continue working with this like white, blue, yellow color here. Grab our mineral spirit again. So boom. A little drippage never hurt nobody. This is a nice thing about painting big. When you paint big, you just kind of like just mess around. Just move your arm around. You're getting your whole body into it. Where's the horizon line? I don't know. Where is the horizon line? I've got no clue. I think the horizon line is like down here. Or up here. Like, yeah, where's the horizon line? I don't know. Where is the horizon line? Nobody knows. Maybe you will never know. Maybe there is no horizon line. Maybe this is just the void. Maybe this is an imaginary setting. Maybe this isn't actually my bathroom. I don't know. I didn't know if you were asking that figuratively or jokingly in some way, by the way. If you're really asking, so this photo, obviously this is a toilet, so this photo is angled down, right? This photo is angled down to take a photo of the toilet that's lower. So of course the horizon line would be a little lower in this. So if I had to guess, the horizon line would probably be somewhere like the real horizon, right? Where the actual horizon is, I mean, it's like up here. If this was an empty space and there wasn't a sink here and a toilet here, I think the horizon line would be somewhere like right here at the top. But because we're looking down, at my cat on a toilet, it is, the horizon line's a little bit different. All right, let's go paint a little bit of this. So let's go bring this. Sometimes it's hard to know if a music is saying something as like a joke or like whether it's like a serious question. There's also sometimes I forget what I say over the course of these streams, over the course of an 8-hour day of streaming. I sometimes forget what I say, and I have to be reminded. All right, we're gonna get some nice porcelain going. Let's get some nice porcelain going. We use a shaggy rug toilet cover. Which maybe that's why he liked it so much, is because it reminded him of someone, something. Call this the porcelain throne. Got some more of this off-white color. And I am wondering how long I could paint for, because I took a nap this afternoon. And, I think my natural habit is to stop after just a couple of hours. And I don't know, maybe I'll go to like 3 hours, but it's like, if I can't do anything, like I can't watch TV, can't turn on my PS5, I could read, but I can't sleep either. Like, what do humans do besides scroll Instagram, right? Like, what do humans do if you can't watch TV and you can't sleep and you don't feel like you need to eat? You can't play video games. I mean, obviously you could scroll, but I mean, like, before all that, right? Before all that, what the heck what would I do if I needed to take a break and do something? Nothing. Just like nothing. What would I do? I don't know. What would I do without stuff to do? Go find something else more meaningful to do. That's probably what they do. I don't know, I have stuff. I would be able to, I have a couple audiobooks I gotta listen to. I would meditate. I would definitely find stuff to do, but it is funny to think of how lost I feel, even if it's a tiny bit. I'm not saying like, I feel totally lost in my life and, I don't know what to do with myself, but just the tiniest bit of not uncertainty of like, well, if I stop painting, I can't watch TV. I don't, use my laptop anymore. I'm not gonna, go on my laptop and do anything. Like, what's there to do besides paint? Nothing. And it is interesting to think about, like, how that can affect my painting times. I actually do like seeing paintings that have this, like, just super loose, unfinished method, unfinished style. And maybe we'll keep it. I don't know. We might just keep it. We might just be inspired to keep it like this. We've already used a lot of paint, by the way. That's the one thing that drives me to constantly buy more paint is like this idea that, as you go bigger, you just use exponentially more paint. And I don't know if that's like true, mathematically true, but it feels like it. Like every size that you increase on your painting, every couple of inches uses like significantly more. Significantly more. Because you're not just like putting down a layer, you gotta actually like cover the space, you gotta fill the space, not just once, twice, but you gotta do it like multiple times. And sometimes it just, you don't always, it takes a lot of paint to do so. And even now, like I'm spreading it nice and easy because I'm using mineral spirits, but if I use something else, I just went by the paint by itself, it would not spread this well. This feels very Edvard Munchian as far as the color goes. I think that's what Edvard Munch really did as far as his paintings. His paintings are really never like finished in the way traditional artists finish their painting. Like, 2, maybe 3 layers so that it doesn't have like all these like gappity gaps. These like gaps in it doesn't have like this like he really keeps it like loose, It's easy to admire Edvard Munch's paintings. Very easy to admire. Alright, let's go in here. We're gonna go around the sink here. I don't know how I'm going to separate the colors in the sink. I guess it's just a matter of like changing up the color, right? Changing up the color just enough. Is that how we go? Let's grab some yellow. And inside the sink is going to be like this yellow, this off yellow color. There we go, that actually works. It's a green color, that's fine. Make a nice base green layer. See, I didn't even really need to do this whole like underpainting thing, but I do think it makes it more colorful. Like all this stuff that I did underneath, I really didn't need to if I'm doing this right now. But I think it makes it more of a colorful painting if we're, really analyzing it. Makes it more colorful and interesting. If I ended up leaving it like this though, right? like I could still change this up a lot. I could still really change this up quite a lot and make it look totally different. Alright, we're gonna go for a reddish pink floor. So let's try to grab some of this red here. We're gonna go red, pink, red, white, pink, red. We're gonna get this floor nice and pinked out. Hard for me to believe that I've only been painting for 2.5 hours. I feel like it's been longer. Another reason, though, why this is helpful, though, the underpainting, is if you do end up painting like this, I think, it really helps to not be able to see white underneath. It really helps to be able to have all this color underneath, as opposed to little areas of white where the canvas shows. It gives a lot more character, I think. So depending on, I think, if you want to finish, if you want to give it a nice finish, depending on how finished you want it to look, right? Like if you could leave it like this, be very like Edvard Munch in his like loose, rough, dramatic painting style, right? Very expressive, very loose, unfinished. Like always you can always see his gaps of where he didn't, right? So if you're going for Edvard Munch, I would say that that's probably the secret to his painting style. Obviously, he tells stories, right? Edvard Munch isn't just a painter as far as painting goes, right? You don't go to Edvard Munch for his technical style. So as far as painting goes, yeah, he paints. But more importantly, I think Edvard Munch is Edvard Munch, the storyteller, the scream, a person who captures human emotion in an interesting way, right? It's not about the technical ability of Edvard Munch. So that said, I do want to point that out is, if you are trying to go for it though, if you are trying to go for that style and be able to tell your own stories, then I think it's worth noting that his style is definitely, I think this is it. I'm not, again, like, we're not talking about Edvard Munch as like a master painter, right? Edvard Munch, I would say, was definitely not a master painter as far as his technical ability goes, but I definitely think, more importantly, his ability and his way to express, if you're really trying to copy that technique, it comes down from maybe just being loose enough that just loose enough that you capture the idea. You've got to tell your story. But anyway, let's see where this is at. All right, it's going pretty good. We've got the main base layer here, and we just got to fill up this top corner, which I'm sort of avoiding. But why am I avoiding it? Because it's hard. I don't know what's going to be up there. It's scary. By the way, that's one good reason to start painting big. In case anyone's ever felt intimidated by painting big, one good reason, if you just need an excuse to go big, is if you find yourself wasting a lot of paint. And when I say wasting a lot of paint, I mean like, you just have like these like your palette, right? You just have like piles of paint just piling up, just like layers and layers and layers of dry paint. I think the solution is literally just to go big, just so you have a canvas from which to throw on all that paint that you might be wasting. And when I say that, sometimes I make a painting just so I can, if I know like a color I've had on my canvas for a while is about to start drying, that'll be an excuse to make a painting for me. Sometimes I'll make a painting just because I know some of my paints are starting to dry up. That is enough of a reason for me. So this is going to come across here. It's going to go across. And we're not even going for total accuracy of shape here. We're just going for expression of an idea. Just want to paint something about my cat. Can I do that without people analyzing whether everything is in perfect engineering like quality? No, I cannot. But either way. Alright, so this is actually pretty good. I like where this is at. Let's go bring down some colors in here. Make sure that this is seen as a bag. The cat sleeping there. I like these colors, the red, blue, white, with some objects in it. It's pretty good. I like it. I almost feel like I might just keep this the way it is and call it a day. Oh, you know what's really wrong? What is really wrong? Let me see. Let me look at this image here. It doesn't look this way when I'm looking at it on my canvas. But here's the thing. So this looks like it's actually flat to y'all. It actually looks kind of flat. I don't know if it's the angle of my camera. And then this one looks like it's at an angle, but these angles actually look correct. Oh. Yeah, these angles actually look correct. I don't know what's up. From here it looks okay. My camera looks horrible. Looks really off. All right, this is a painting that I feel like I should sleep. Oh, well, you know what? How can I separate this little area here? This little area needs to go into shadow. So we're going to add a little hint of a shadow. We need a little hint of a shadow. Just it's coming down here. Let's go this object right here. Just a little hint of shadow. This is going to come down all the way on this side of the wall. And this helps to separate the wall a little bit. Where's the shadow coming from? It's coming from on this side. Get a little detail to separate the wall space. Now it looks like it's a corner, right? It looks like there's a corner. And now this doesn't look like just one big blob of this thing. What can we tighten up? I could just keep going. I should just keep going, right? I should paint. Just keep going. Why would I stop now? What would be the point of stopping now? There's no point. Let's go. We're going to keep painting here. This is almost straight up and down, kind of straight up and down. But even the image itself isn't totally straight, so that's fine. Add a little bit of color right there. That's my cat. This is my boy. Y'all are looking at my cat, a painting of my cat. He's the best. He's the best. Where you at, Scout? There you are. Hey, let me show him off. Let me show everybody my cat. Scout, you ready to get picked up, bro? This is my cat. Yes, come here. Let me give you a hug. Come on. Yes, my boy. Hello, my boy. Yes, come here. This is him that was him when he was a kid. Now he's full size now. What's up, dude? What's up, Mr. Full Size Cat? How you doing, Mr. Full Size? Got his arm around my neck. I don't know why he. Wow, he's heavy now. Getting heavy now, bro. Getting heavy now, dude. Yes, you're very heavy now. He's the best. Best around. Look at him. You know what's funny is eventually he'll get sick of me holding him. Eventually he'll get sick of it and he'll just make the tiniest peep. And I know that that's time to let him go. Are you gonna make that peep or are you just gonna let me release you? Alright, I think that's time, huh? Had enough. Had enough of me. Let's see. Are we done with this? No, we're not. Let's keep going for a little bit longer. That's my boy. That's my cat. Cat on a toilet seat. Get a photo of this before I forget. Since I have my gloves off. Change the change the setting for this. Oh, what to do? I really do like this like loose, rough, unfinished, just simple design. Right now, I like it, and I just haven't decided if I want to like keep it going or what. It's got a mood to it, right? Like this has a mood. This has a mood. Let's look at. Let me see. I was trying to find my book about Edvard Munch's paintings, but I couldn't find them. So I was gonna see if we could use him as like inspiration for what more to do with this painting. I mean, of course we could do so much more, but it's blowing my mind why this looks so weird. Because on camera it really looks totally normal. This angle right here, but on live stream it just looks like so off. But the camera notices everything. camera catches everything. All right, you know what we can do right now? We're gonna capture some rim lighting, so let's drop in a bit more of our, let's do some gambling. Let's use up some of our gambling color. I'm so precious with this paint because for white, it's really expensive. And I'm really precious with it. But let's use it. Let's use our gambling white. And we're gonna just get some rim lighting. Our goal right now is to just get some rim lights. Some highlights, just like highlights around the edges here. Highlight right there. And we can actually take this and blend it into the rest. Blend that in. Let's look at the brush marks. I wonder if they ever announced the person that bought that Banksy painting that got destroyed. Like, what if it was somebody that actually knows Banksy and was involved with him? And, they found out, they got him the bid that absurd sum of $14 million. And then they were like, all right, dude, we'll give you your money back. Don't worry. You'll get it back. But we just need someone to, get this painting and let us destroy it without getting upset. Because I have a feeling someone with $14 million to spend on a painting that's going to get destroyed can totally like pull some strings and figure out who to intimidate to get their money back for a destroyed art piece, right? Like anyone ever think critically about Banksy and how they influence people, how they have made us to believe things about the art world? Banksy, what a character. Well, he's many characters, I guess, right? I think the idea is that Banksy isn't just one person. He's a collective group of highly influential people that are really good at keeping a secret. Or maybe they're not good at keeping a secret, but they've created this persona that he is such a secret that no one will believe anything anyone says anyway. What do we know? What do we know? All right, let's go grab some more of this pink again. This pink color. And I'm just going to trust the camera to just tell me that this is wrong. Why is the camera telling me it's wrong? Let me see. Does that look wrong? Yeah. Oh, I think I know why. Because the door's open. The door on this hinge thing is open, and that's why it's creating this illusion, maybe. But it's gonna bother me. Oh, just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. Let's keep the let's keep our expression here. And let's go like. And let's see. Here's what we missed. We need silver, we need gray, we need some black, we need some colors for a sink. Let's grab our black, bring in our white, and get like a nice silvery, lustery blue, silver, lustery gray, silver color. Let's just start right up here. We're gonna go, oops, nope, there's no black. What's up, Fern? Oh, is it locked, Cat? You good?
Hungry. Hi. Hello, everybody.
Pat said thanks for the garbage.
He did.
Yeah.
But he must have moved it around.
Oh.
Oh, he's one of the kitties.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always got to tweak it.
He said thanks. So.
Well, that's good. But yeah, the recycling isn't where I put it.
Oh, I moved it.
You did? Oh.
Yeah, because I had to fit it in there.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. That makes it feel better. Hi guys. So you didn't feed them.
Right. Remember, I did the big box.
Excuse me?
I did the big box, right? The the plant one of the plants, the green one.
Oh yeah.
So because of that, I had to move.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
If I fed them, no. Yes, I'm painting Scout. Alright, and one thing that I'm seeing, our sink is too small. The little bowl, the bowl of the sink, it's too small. It needs to be bigger. Sink bowl needs to be bigger. Watch out, kitty. Can you go somewhere else? Go. Go. Go.
We're gonna put you in a box. Shut it. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut it. Yes, I'm getting your food ready. I'm fixing to feed you. Oh, this bag is gross.
Yes, I said it's for the cat poop.
Yeah, but it's so I don't even want to touch it for cat food.
Just pork blood.
Yeah, blood. Blood? I like blood.
just pork blood. You eat pork, don't you? Honestly, I feel like if I fill this painting in, it's just gonna get boring. Like if I paint it too accurately, it just gets boring. I feel like I really want to leave this like looseness. Maybe add some more details, but I almost feel like this is finished. But that's the problem with me in painting, though, is like, you know, I could paint all day. Like sometimes I realize that I could paint all day like this. I could paint. I could make a probably. Well, this takes me about an hour and a half. I could probably make like 10 of these paintings a day if I really wanted to. These paintings, right? Like some of my paintings, they take a long time because there's so many details that I try to include. But if I was to just keep like a very loose methodology and I just wanted to capture like simple subject matter like this, just a cute little cat sleeping on a toilet seat, I could probably do like 10 of these a day. If I really wanted to. But, you know, like if I became a portrait painter or of people's pets or just like simple scenes in their own home, I could pump these out. But I don't think I could do it for myself simply because of space. Let's go ahead. We'll bring this down. Just want to keep it nice and loose. Give it that loose feeling. Let some of the colors underneath show. Get the vibrancy. Let's add a little knob here. We go with our little knob, our dark gray knob.
Where's that vinegar spray?
It's here, but you probably have to fill it with some more vinegar.
Where's the vinegar kept?
Underneath the sink.
Is this it?
Yeah. Huh?
Just need a little bit.
All right, and you know what? Let's paint in some of our metals here. I'm gonna add in some lustrous metal color. I'm gonna add some more detail into these like little areas of gray, right? How do we add like luster into it? We're gonna go like that, just to give it a look of metal. I'm not going for the whole realistic shebang. Just see what we could do with the. I don't even know my own little turning knob. What kind of turning knob do I have? Is that working? No, probably too much white, but I have to make up these other sections here. High energy paintings, high impact, high energy. Let's go. All right, we're gonna be done for tonight. We're actually gonna let this sit overnight, this painting, and we'll work on it tomorrow. Because here's the thing, like I really like the way that this painting is right now. I would hang this up in my own home, and that's my own cat, so. But I just love like this, the feel of it, you know. It's just got this mood to it. It's got this mood to it. A very Munchian, Edvard Munch. You know the Scream. Everybody knows the Scream, but yeah, it's got this very Edvard Munchian feel, right? Because his paintings were never really finished. He didn't really finish his paintings. He wasn't really like a technically brilliant painter. He was an artist, and painting happened to be his medium. And that's one thing though. Like when I'm painting, you know, it's so easy to lose inspiration after you spend, you know, more time on it than is necessary, right? Like if you spend more than a few, like once you go past this point, the main idea phase, I feel like it's so easy to lose the original intent, right? Like if you're just painting and just getting, you know, layer after layer, day after day after day after day. And by the way, I'm actually pulling everything I'm saying from other books like Alla Prima by Richard Schmidt, and like, and these are points that I actually agree with that they say. But you know, they say that sometimes, like if you know you paint, if you're painting layer after layer, day after day, and you know it can be easy to lose the original inspiration. And Richard Schmidt even says in his book Alla Prima 2, talks about how he's surprised that, you know, painters, the great masters of the world, were able to paint such masterpieces despite the fact that, you know, they painfully worked for years at a time, just, you know, doing the most delicate touches year after year. And Richard kind of says that, like, how do they not lose the inspiration? So that's why I also think great masters were also different beasts, because they didn't have, you know, I'm inspired every day by something different. But the great masters, they had to go out and hunt the bird and then dissect the bird and lay it out on a table in order to study it. But not today. Today, if I want to paint the bird, I just go on. And here we are. We are at the end of the night. Let me see if I've closed everything. Yep, closed everything. My kitten has come. He's standing right in front of me, trying to say something. Oh, this guy. He's the most famous kitten on Amazon Live, right? He's the most famous cat on Amazon Live. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, here's the other one. Come here, you. Come here. Hey. Where are you running off to? All right. He's trying to escape, so I'm going to let him escape. But this little guy. Look at his bean toes. Look at those little bean toes. Yeah. Those little bean toes. Check out his bean toes. Look at his little toes. Little bean toes. Where did they go? All right. Los Angeles. If you're in the Los Angeles area, he is like an orange kitten up for adoption, and you do have to adopt him with his brother because they're bonded. I mean, technically you don't, but why would you want to separate a bonded kitten pair, huh? Who would do that? Who would want to do that, huh? Why would anybody do that? All right, you done? You ready? Should we call it a good night? All right. It says good night. It's time to end the stream. Go ahead and press that button. Go press the button. Press the end stream button. Good night. Okay. All right, go press the X on the end stream button. There we go. There we go. Good night.